Alrighty, we're live again. This time we won't end the stream out of the middle of nowhere. Frankie, we might already be in shambles, but we're good. We know how this works if we're fans of the league. So, as you were
Yeah.
saying about the track, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Gateway. It's a non-traditional oval. Got two completely different ends of the racetrack. Got one and two, a hard braking zone entering turn one, and it's not as fast as you'd think. You know, it's a pretty flat part of the track, not as flat as three and four, but you'll definitely see some guys downshifting from fourth gear to third gear, and the exit off of turn two is extremely important because you have that long backstretch, long straightaways here, long backstretch, long front stretch. So another thing we need to keep an eye on is you need to keep your body panels on the truck.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Well, here we go. A couple things we're going to get going real quick. So, Frankie, talk to us about the Dash for Cash. I mean, obviously, we're going to be going through that today. Best of your knowledge. I mean, obviously, going to be a lot of good times here. Talk to us about your thoughts on that. Hey, by the way, Thursday you'll be going for that as well.
Yes, the Dash for Cash. It's kind of if you watch the NASCAR Xfinity Series, it's like a mini championship four race. So four drivers have the opportunity to go for, I believe,
$30,
for some
yeah.
cash. Yep, $30. And basically, the only thing is, if you're one of those four drivers, you just have to finish ahead of the other three. It's like I described. It's a mini championship four setting. So the four drivers that will be going for the Dash for Cash: Brandon Bowie in the 23 truck,
Yes,
the
sir.
56 truck of Trevor Zelazny, the 39 truck of Joseph Mealy, and the 67 truck of Brian Chambliss. Hope I'm saying that name right. But
Yes, you are.
basically, but one guy who's already starting with a big advantage is Brandon Bowie, as
Love.
he is starting on pole position. As you see, that 23 truck, he's got the orange banner signifying he is a Dash for Cash participant.
Yes, sir.
And like obviously the race win will be important to him as well,
Oh yeah.
but I think what he's might be a little more worried about is where are the other four guys? Where are the other three guys, excuse me? You know, if he's not in the lead, then he doesn't have to worry about then he has to worry about it, sorry. If he is in the lead, then he won't have to worry about it because he's obviously ahead of the other three. So
That's a great point.
it'll be interesting to see how all four drivers really play their night. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how, especially Brian Chambliss plays and Joseph Mealy, because they are not starting as high as they'd like. 9th and 11th for those two drivers.
It's a great point. Not exactly what they want, but at the end of the day, anything can happen in these races, Frankie.
Yeah, and anything can happen. I mean, it could be a huge pile up off two, could be a miss. I mean, I've seen misshifts happen on the start, so there's going to be action all day, all night long, and it'll be a great race to watch. I hope everybody that's watching right now, hope they have a great time.
Yes, sir. Right now, 34 drivers starting to make this. Going to be a good day today at Gateway Speedway. Cannot wait. One of my personal tracks, one of my personal favorites, Frankie. Going to be a lot of fun. A little frazzled right now. I apologize for the folks watching. Had some technical difficulties there with the stream going down, and then now all of a sudden our SDK is acting up. So we are kind of in a shamble moment right now. So it's all good. We're going to work through it. We're going to have fun. These boys are going to try and fight for it, for this win. Brandon Bowie, man, going to try and go for four straight races.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone can stop him. I mean, listen, tonight it's not looking a good night for the other 33 drivers because he was fast in practice and he got the pole. So it might be a long night ahead of everybody else. But I think, do think the two right near him, Mark Whitley and Brandon Six, they're gonna give him a run for his money.
Yes, sir. Well, right now, here we go. Going green, here we go. Dash for Cash 4, presented by Harpoon Design. Man, Mark Whitlick gets a great jump on this outside. This outside lane, turning 1 and 2, Frankie, is really where you want to be.
Yeah, that
Oh,
middle
Brandon
line.
Bowie goes around. Yellow flag comes out. Pole sitter spinning out in turn 2, and then Charles Bounds right behind him. Ooh, just narrowly avoids him.
Just like to say, I apologize, Brandon Bowie. I believe I just put the commentator's curse right on your lap. I don't think he'll be too happy with me, but man, wow,
Woo.
first lap, first corner. That's crazy.
It's kind of shocking, right? I mean, it is a hot day, so, but the sun's going down, so you figure, okay, there's going to be grip, right, at some point, but that's surprising. That's a rare miss by Brandon Bowie. That could be huge.
That'd be one of the guys you'd least expect to do that. Brandon Bowie, as you and I know, is one of the most. He is like, he is super prepared. You know, goes through everything, and I mean every little detail before every race.
Oh yeah.
And for that to happen is extremely shocking. You know, right now that has put a massive dent on his Dasher Cash run for tonight. He has a lot of work ahead of him tonight.
Gonna be tough. Clean spin though, so obviously no damage. No, I mean, so he's definitely gonna be good to go. But tail end of the field. I mean, 34 drivers, another great field today. Gonna be difficult. And then luckily, right behind him, Charles Bounds looks like he might have tried to slow up, or maybe he got some help here. But ooh, hard hit by Nick Simpson. Big hit. Oh, Charles Bounds. Does he hit him?
Maybe a little bit.
Ooh, just a scooch. But everyone's good. Everyone's good though. No worries there. Big moves already. Lap 1. Brandon Bowie spinning out. But hey, up front, Mark Whitley, familiar face up front, going to be leading this race. Folks, we'll take one more quick break just for the sponsors and thank them for what a great job they do. Be right back. All right, folks, we're back at Gateway Speedway. Is it Speedway, Raceway? I think it's like Worldwide whatever Raceway at this point. I have no idea, but it's all good. Right now, under yellow for our first caution of the day. Frankie, man, I'll tell you what, big things already. Justin Sorrell right here up front. Looks like he's going to get the wave around in just a minute. What are your thoughts so far, buddy?
Oh, we've only gone through, I mean, 2 corners and already chaos. And something like somewhere where you least expect it. I mean, listen, the last 2 weeks, maybe if you're a Mark Whitley fan, you're like, man, Brandon Bowie got some good gifts from you know, Mark Whitley, either mental mistakes or just something happening to him.
Right.
Well, I think Brandon Bowie at least repaid one of those favors back, as right now Mark Whitley has gotten one gift. I think if you ask Mark Whitley, I would say he thinks that Brandon Bowie he got 2 gifts, and Bowie owes him one more gift for the rest of the season. But
yes, sir.
That's neither here or there.
Hey, I'll tell you
what.
what.
It's Mark Whitley out front.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, right now, the new choose rule, not really new. It's been here since the beginning of the season. But we kind of ironed it out. I think at this point, we really nailed down what the choose rule is and where it is. These boys have to make a choice between outside or inside at the end of the Geico restart zone. So if you choose the outside lane, you pick up against the wall. If you choose the inside lane, you're up against the inside wall. A lot of guys right there, a couple of them I saw them, they were in the middle of the track. That's the penalty zone. If you get there, you're going to be given an EOL or at most penalty point post race. So we are cracking this thing down. But either way, Mark Whitley and John Wright going to lead this pack to the front. We're going back green, Frankie.
Yeah, you saw some guys choosing the outside there. That's really the preferred line in 1 and 2. These guys want that drive off on exit. But anyway, we're coming back to the green. It's Mark Whitley out front. Brandon Six is going to try to push him.
Here we go. Great start by Mark Whitley. Back in the middle of the pack. A lot of beating the banking already. Oh, man. Big wreck right now. Michael Lanphier, Charles Balance, Melvin Young. Tried to watch that as it happened. Josh Purcell in there in the front. We'll go back and take a look at this. Frankie, I mean, real quick, so far this season, the Truck Series has actually been very surprising to me. Really, really good racing, really just competitiveness and everything like that. But the preseason race we had here, we can't forget about that. That race was kind of a mess. Right? It was a lot of crashes, a lot of wrecks. And so far we've seen already 2 wrecks in the first, 6 laps. I hope this is not what we're going to see for the remainder of this event, but we'll look back at this for sure. Michael Lanphier, we'll go back and look at him real quick first and see what might have happened. A lot of cars here, obviously. I'm already seeing some 4 wide action. Let's take a look back. Far chase. This might be a good, ooh, hold on now. Let's rewind it just a bit and check out the actual restart. Okay, some big checkups there from Chris Vanderplatz. We're seeing up there in the front of the blue car. And then, man, Josh Purcell has nowhere to really go. Bumps into Lanphier, gets into McKinney there, or McKenzie, excuse me, and then just starts a big old mess.
Yeah, like, it just looks like a good old-fashioned stack-up. You know, one guy just mistimes it a little bit. He has to check up. Everybody behind him has to check up as well. And you're not really expecting it until you see the guy hit the brakes in front of you. And you're hitting the brakes, but the guy behind you, who is right on your bumper, does not have enough time. And in this case, that is the 57, Josh Purcell. He really doesn't have enough time to slow down enough. And he hits the back of Michael Lanphier. Lanphier is then making more contact because he's getting pushed sideways. And then, yeah it just creates a big mess. And I'm with you. I don't think these fans want to see a lot of torn up race trucks.
It's not good right now. A lot of people in the chat calling out that 46 Nick Simpson. Tell you what, so far, tough to say, but it's a long race. We'll see how this goes. But I'll tell you what, lap 8. So, a couple things I want to talk to us about real quick while we're watching these guys pace around. A couple things, obviously. First of all, thank you for being here. Number 2. Please like and subscribe. Obviously, that's huge for us. You guys know how that all works. Hit all the buttons, we always like to say. A couple things I do apologize for. Some of the technical stuff. We had to restart the stream, and we had a nice little graphic up top where all the Dash for Cash drivers, the 4 of them, have like a nice red outline so that you can kind of see what who's who and whatnot. But that's okay. The backup is that these guys, the Dash for Cash guys, have this amazingly awesome Dash for Cash banner on the front of their windshields, as you can see here at Trevor Zlasny. So worst case, that's our indicator, but there are 4 of them, like we talked about at the beginning, and the driver who finishes ahead of the other 3 will be your Dash for Cash winner. Yeah, it's pretty fun, something else to do, and definitely spices up a gateway race for sure. But the Dash for Cash 4, Trevor Zlasny, Brian Chambliss, Brandon Bowie, and our good buddy Joseph Mealy. So those are the 4 drivers. We'll cover them throughout the race as we go. But right now, our boys are going to be choosing right here. This is important. Outside and then inside. We're seeing a lot of dudes right there. Not really. Here we go. Here's a good angle.
Yeah, it's very important. You get close to the wall, whichever side you want to pick. If you want to go to the outside, stay right next to that outside wall. If you want to pick inside,
exactly.
Stay close to that inside wall. So you maybe saw a couple guys there
Little
guys
iffy.
there. Yeah, they were a little iffy. But listen, we're 3 weeks in. This is not something that iRacing has. We're doing this all on our own, and it is tough to really coordinate,
Right.
especially when you're trying to get
Oh, for sure.
an advantage on someone.
Yeah, and we get those questions, right? Hey, well, why are you making it so complicated? Why, like, why are you doing this? Why is it necessary? Well, I think to that point, right? I think for us, our motto, right, for the ASRA is as real as it gets. We want to make this thing as real as possible, and we have to be hardcore about some of the rules because then it's easier for the competition to just get it right, So it's a better viewing experience for you guys. But right here on lap 10, we are 15 laps away from the first stage. Here we go. Mark Woodley gets a great restart on the outside. That is definitely the lane you want to be at. Let's make sure we check that back of the pack, make sure they can restart good this time. And so far, so good, Frankie.
Okay. Right now you get a couple guys in the outside lane who are going to train the inside line. They get that big run off the corner.
Woo.
And we have successfully made it through one corner, hopefully. See a couple guys making moves. I believe there's Dunkelberger, that 26 truck, making a move for third place on that 04 truck of Jonathan Wright.
Yes, sir. Right now, a lot of guys beating the bang right here. Mark Whitley out front. Nice already. First lap. Brandon 6 in P2. No surprise there. And then Ryan Dunkelberger making a move.
Battle I'm keeping my eye for is that fifth place battle. 2 Dash for Cash trucks.
Yellow on the
We got
track.
a yellow.
Oh, man. Who's this? Charles Bounce and Melvin Young, buddies. Let's take a look. Let us take... Ooh, Melvin Young loose up ahead, looks like. Let's go forward a bit. Where's old Melvin Young? Here he is. Alrighty, so, again, through the power of rewind, let's take a look. Yeah, I think he does the same thing Bowie does. Gets down there on the apron. Ooh, okay, not so much, but, oh man, and then Balance just comes in trying to avoid him. Kind of does the same thing, but earlier to avoid Bowie on that first lap, but, man, is it really that loose down there, Frankie?
I would probably say so. There isn't a lot of grip. These guys, especially in 1 and 2, they run the middle line, so there's not a ton of grip on that low line, and especially towards that rumble strip. Another thing that's very different about Gateway, see that kind of red and white right below the white line? That is rumble strip. That is extremely, extremely slick.
Oh,
you
yeah.
do not want to get under on that, especially on cold or old tires.
That's right.
It is a death trap waiting for you, and it just looks like that 69 of Melvin Young just turned in too early, got on those rumble strips, had to wash out, got into that 57 of Josh Purcell, and just spun it out. And it's surprisingly an easy mistake to make here.
Yes, sir. One more thing about this race. So since it is the Dash for Cash race, kind of changing it up a bit. Obviously, the sun's going down. That's going to be, kind of cool. More grip on the track. That probably will help turns 1 and 2. But then the second thing is that the stages, we kind of did we had some fun with it. I'll put it that way. So typically, the stages for us, we'll do stage 1 about 25% of the way in, and then stage 2 is about 50% of the way in, right? That way, the second half of the race is a nice long green flag run, in theory. But for this Dash for Cash race, and then our second one later in the season for New Hampshire, we're going to do a bit of a change-up. So the first stage ends at lap 25, like it typically does. But then the second stage is going to be massive. It's a 50-lap stage, and then the second stage will end at lap 75. So that last stage kind of acts now more as a sprint, to get to the end and to get that win. So definitely going to change it up here. But Frankie, well, I mean, how does that change the game, if it does at all?
It changes up by the kind of mental side of it, because usually in these races how a caution is going to come at around a quarter and halfway into the race. Now it's completely different. The first quarter, you are right, caution comes at a quarter into the race, but instead of halfway through the race is going to be yellow, it's going to be 3/4. So basically what that third stage is is you make your pit stop after stage 2, and then after that, it's game on. You're not coming down again. So it kind of makes your responsibilities usually in stage 3. That'll kind of be your responsibilities in stage 2. Like usually in stage 2, or maybe towards the beginning of stage 3, you want to kind of put yourself in position to go for the win. Now it'll be in stage 2, that whole stage is preparing yourself and trying to put yourself into position.
That's right.
Succeed.
Okay, here we go. Gonna be another choose rule. Let's see if these boys can get it right this time. Okay. A lot of guys choosing the inside, but then again, obviously, you can gain some spots here for sure.
Yeah,
Love to see it.
Yeah, you love to see it. You see guys, I think there's kind of a trend going on. It looks like the first and second place will probably choose the top most likely. Maybe at the end of the race, Brandon Six, who was P2, he'll maybe pick the bottom.
Yep.
But it seems like that third place truck is going to pick the bottom if it's open.
Yes, sir.
And from there, it's kind of a coin flip. You had Trevor Zelazny before, who was that fourth place truck before on that last restart, picked the bottom. Now that whoever was in that fourth place, I believe it was that 04 truck of Jonathan Wright, he picked the outside lane. So that allowed Joseph Mealy in that 39 truck to pick that inside and jump a couple spots. So this choose rule, it's a lot of mind games, but man, as a fan watching right now,
yes, sir.
Gotta love it.
Hey, speaking of fans, gotta love that 21 of Chris Vanderplat's. A lot of Chris Vanderplat fans in the chat, CVP Racing. Their boys looking to get it done on the thumbnail today, looking so damn good. Here we go. Restart, lap 16, 8 laps to go in stage 1. Great jump. Back of the pack.
Said it.
Looking decent.
He said it. He said it. A great jump from Mark Whitley. That's kind of his trademark now.
Just knows how to get it done here at Gateway. Right now, our boy Joseph Mealy, runner-up last season in the Truck Series, the first season in the championship, currently in P4, leading those Dash for Cash drivers. Right behind them, Trevor Lansney, making its way up. Ooh, hard hit right there for Jeff Tetro. Smacks that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, we talked about that pre-race. That's something you don't want to do.
Oh, the 90, Jamie Graham going around. Makes a huge save. Great job by Jamie right there. Awesome job. Saves it, recovers. We stay green.
And it seems like these trucks are loose on entry as well as the exit. So, I mean, it's surprising because you wouldn't think, you know, with the track temp right now, I don't even think it's 90 degrees. I just think it's cold tires, and these guys are really having to work at the beginning of these runs.
That's a great point, Frankie. So you're thinking the opposite. It's not too hot where it's slick. It's too cold where the tires stay colder.
Yeah, so it kind of works both ways. If the track isn't hot enough, the tires are going to be colder longer, but they're not going to overheat that bad towards the end of the run. If the track is if the track is super hot, it's going to heat up quickly. But what that also means is that towards the end of the run, you're going to have a higher chance of overheating your tires, and that, my friends, produces the slickness.
Yes, sir. Well, right now, lap 20, if a caution comes out, we will declare this as the stage 1 finish. Anything within 5 laps is declared as the stage finish. Mark Whitley way up front right now, has a great lead. Brandon Six in P2 and Ryan Dunkelberger P3. Can Mark Whitley finally get it done today, Frankie? A lot of heartbreak and mistakes. Let's just call it what it is, right? A lot of mistakes last couple of weeks, but Mark Whitley has been so fast. He is bound for a win. Very, very close.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it comes tonight. The preseason race, he did. I believe he did in fact win the preseason race.
Yes, sir.
So we know he's very good here, but it's just going to be down to, again, the mental mistakes. Last 2 weeks, I believe Nashville speeding penalty. In Pocono last week, I believe it was. I could be wrong, but I think he he made some contact with Brandon 6. I don't know if it was.
Yeah.
I don't have a very good memory, folks, but I don't think it was his fault.
The tunnel corner. Tunnel corner just binned it into the outside wall out of the tunnel turn.
Yeah.
Hard contact.
Yeah, but right now I don't think he's worried about last week. I think he's worried about the task at hand, and I think he can get it done, especially from that lap 1 incident from that 23 truck as we see him on our screen.
Yes, sir. Oh, right now Brendan Bowie again spins out. Isaac Balsamo gets involved. No caution on the track. It stays green. Oh, yellow comes out. That will end the stage. I was just going to make a point about Brandon Bowie making his way through the field, but Mark Whitley will be your stage 1 winner.
Man, that is twice that has happened to me, Steve. That is twice.
We'll look back at it, but I'm pretty sure Isaac might have gotten involved in front of Bowie there and could have caused some issues, but man, that's just so close. But anyway, P2 for the stage, Dunkelberger. P3 is Brandon 6. P4, Joseph Mealy. Great stage points here for these guys. Trevor Zelazny, P5. Joshua Sobel, P6. Brian Chambliss, P7. Jonathan Wright in P8. Nick Silver in P9. And Jesse Necula in P10, rounding out the top 10. Great job of these guys. After this top 10, these guys are pitting right now. Hold on, look at these. Pit strategy, Frankie, already.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that top 4 made a mistake. I could have sworn we almost had that. I think we had that last season where that happened, where the top 4 or 5 got confused. Pits weren't open, and then as soon as they passed the pit entry, it opened.
Yeah. Either way, it's yeah, that could be a mess. But race control, I am sure, will figure it out if that is the case.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's I think a lot of the things too, Frankie, right, is that when a yellow comes out, you have to catch the pace car and then figure out what you're doing, right? And I feel like a lot of that sometimes comes from that scenario. So it's difficult, but either way, this caution coming out early for the stage 1, this is going to make stage 2 even longer than it was already planned on being. It was already going to be scheduled for 50 laps, and now it's going to be about 52, 53. So how does that play into things?
I think it just kind of reinforces the notion that you are definitely going to have to pit in this stage, unless we get, mountains of cautions. But I do think that, man, those top 5, and I mean, Bowie was also in that discussion as well. I think the only Dash for Cash guy that pitted right there was Brian Chambliss.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be best set up for I would say the end of the race.
I would agree. Let's take a look here about Isaac Balsamo for that last caution that brought out the stage 1 finish. Let's take a look here. Turn 2 is kind of a mess, at least so far tonight. But Isaac, so far, let's play it in real time just for a second here. Okay, you can see it kind of getting loose here on exit.
Yeah, I think.
Oof, Bowie has nowhere to go, man. You can tell he's hard on the brakes, but look at this. Oh, just misses it. That shouldn't be any that shouldn't be any damage, let alone much if it were. Isaac's going to hit the wall here pretty hard. Unfortunate for him, but Bowie yet again spins out in turn 2 and looks fine. So he's going to keep it going.
Yeah, but that's the issue with being towards the back. And no disrespect to Isaac at all, but he is not the fastest guy in the world. And Bowie, he is extremely fast. I'm sure he's not used to being in the back, so he's got to pick guys off one by one. He can't just go in and dive bomb from 20 feet back and expect it to stick.
That's right.
He needs to pass these guys. Well, right now, he needs to pass those guys methodically and smart, because you don't want to do anything to hurt your truck. But man, right now, we're choosing. We had some guys really trying to pull the fake.
Man, a lot of guys just aren't getting down or up as you would expect them to. Not too bad, but could be better. All good. Hey, so in that exchange, Brandon Bowie did not pit right there, Frankie. So he finds himself in P4 after the choose rule.
Yep. And I think, honestly, I believe if this was the normal kind of race format, like, the stage format, I think these top 5 would be screwed. I think they would.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yes.
think their race is basically over. But with this longer stage, everyone's gonna have to pit anyway.
Exactly.
So
At least once.
at least once. So maybe these guys are thinking tires are gonna fall off super quick. Why not pit twice?
That's right.
You know, why not?
Okay, well, here we go. Mark Whitley on the outside. Actually, Joseph Mealy, Mark Whitley is being scored P1. Sorry for that. But Joseph Mealy in P2, Brandon Six in P3, and Brendan Bowie in P4. So, going to be interesting to see how these guys get off this restart here. Mark Whitley, known for the restarts. Going to hit it. We're green. Lap 26, the beginning of stage 2. It's a long one. Great start so far for the guys in the back and the front. Oh, Chris Vanderplatz goes around Mitch Diamond. Big wreck. Brings out another caution. I'll tell you what, turn 1 is not easy. It kind of funnels into it almost funnels down, Frankie. Like, when you get into turn 1, it can't be too wide, right, or 3 wide right there, let alone even 2 wide. It can be tough.
Yeah, it's tough to pick your breaking point, and it's just, I mean, we haven't seen the replays at first, but I think it's gonna be maybe the 21 thinking he has a hole, or maybe just missing his breaking point a little bit. But
We'll see. Right now, Jeff Tetro gets it. Oh, hold on now. Yeah, Chris Vanderplatz and Mitch Diamond just get involved right there. I think Mitch's braking zone might have been a little bit different than Vanderplatz, and they just go around.
and right now and he's gonna be right in the middle of the track.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. Yeah, big wreck right here. I mean, a lot of after the fact stuff. Charles Bounce getting involved. Melvin Young again. Tough break for these boys.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the night that those guys wanted to have. But at the end of the day, we still have 70 more laps to go.
That's right. Clinton Woodby did get involved in that just a little bit. His front end looks to be a little pushed in, but not terrible. He might be down on power just by a hair, but still going forward.
Yeah, the long straightaways, I think he might be a little bit down on power, but overall, as long as he's running, there's no reason why he can't drag out or pull out a top 15.
Yes, sir.
There's no reason that's not possible.
Well, hey, right now, sun's going down. We're gonna hit a quick commercial break for our sponsors. We'll be right back, folks. On lap 30, 70 laps to go. All right, we're back, folks, with beautiful St. Louis in the background. I believe it's St. Louis. I could be wrong, but oh yeah, it is. There's the arch. Hence why it's called Gateway. Let's just delete that last 20 seconds, Frankie. I feel very dumb. But we're back to Gateway, and we are here live, man. Look at that camera. Love it. Gateway, an awesome track, 1.25 miles. So far, lap 30, it's a mess. Let's just call it what it is. But tough track, brand new for the league, brand new for the series. And this is definitely going to be hard fought. Sun's going down, group's going to go up, God willing. And less cautions. But hey, listen, it's a, what do you always say, Frankie? It's a race, not a sprint.
Oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
There you go.
So,
From the wise, the wise Frankie Barroso.
yep, I'm very wise, and sometimes I am not very wise. Let's put it that way. But yeah. So like you said, it has been a mess. I think these fans deserve a better race than these guys are putting on. I think they can do it. They can make a better race.
Yes, sir.
But the critical thing is Gateway is a tough place to pass.
Oh, for
normally.
sure.
And really the only way maybe I could really try to pass someone is maybe pulling a slide job into turn 1.
Yeah.
Just overdrive the entry.
Great point.
Take that middle line. You know, and like I said, man, it is really tough to pass, and that's fueling the aggression on the restarts. And every restart that goes by, the aggression gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I agree.
So,
Definitely do agree. But it's all good. 69 laps to go. Mark Whitley back out front still. Going to lead these boys back to the green. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Seeing some guys pull out here in the back of the pack. That checkup, man, is real. It is so real. But hey, Race Control's doing a great job about keeping these restarts tight. You love to see it. Middle pack. Our Dash for Cash 4 drivers are all within a blanket. Right now, Brian Chambliss in P7. Trying to make it happen. These boys are going for it, man.
Brian Chambliss on those 4 fresh tires. You might not see it work for these first couple laps, but I think as the run goes on, you'll see that 15-20 lap fresher tires are really going to help them at the end of the run.
Yes, sir. Ooh, Jimmy Graham, a little loose there. You heard the tire squeal. Keeps it going straight. We're good.
Yeah, I would say, I guess, like I said, it's the first couple laps that the aggression's high. I think Brian Dunkelberger is now, I believe, the first truck on 4 fresh tires, and you see he's making it work right now. Right now, made a move on Josh Sobel. Ooh.
Dunkelberger plowed in the back of Joseph Mealy. Now Mealy has some damage in the back of his truck right there, but we keep it going.
Yeah, I think Ryan Dunkelberger just missed. I think just man, what's the word I'm using for? What's the word? Misinterpreted?
Oh, Dunkelberger spins. Yellow comes out, keeps on the brakes. Great job by Dunkelberger. Holding on to it, waiting until he knows he's clear. You love to see it.
I believe something. I don't want to point names, but did he get help?
Something is happen, Frankie.
Something is happening. Yes.
Okay.
The shambles has gone to the broadcast as well.
Listen, folks, I know you're watching and you're like, this is a rough race. Listen, sometimes that happens. I mean, listen. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, so it's not Joseph Mealy, we know that, but it looks like our good buddy Josh Sobel might have a say in this. Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. Dunkelberger kind of comes down there just a hair. Can't really tell if he's trying to block the lane or just trying to, follow up with his racing line, but wasn't quite clear. And Sobel.
Yeah, we may have to go back maybe towards the beginning of the corner to really get the full picture of what happened. But it looks like, I don't know, maybe that 75 either misjudged his braking zone, got in there a little too deep, or maybe he saw a hole and he was trying to go for it. But
Yes,
either
sir.
way, it ends up as the truck turnaround is the 26.
That's right, Mark Whitley in company coming down to pit road. Joseph Mealy, Trevor Zlasny. So these leaders, here's the thing, Frankie. I mean, I've always told you, right? In these races that are looking like this, I always want to make sure I'm up in the front no matter what, right? Because you just never know. And right now, I mean, we're going to see Mark Whitley, Joseph Mealy, you know, all these guys, this whole, you know, lead pack there was just leading up here in the top 5. Now they're going to be in about the low 20s, 23rd, 25th, and they've got a lot of real estate up front, a lot of cars up front. So if you're one of these guys, I mean, you really got to play it safe getting through this field, seeing how it's been.
Yeah, and I think those guys pitted. I think they pit because I think they can make it on fuel, or at least they're going to be as close as possible. You know, I think the fuel window is, I could be wrong, 30, 35 laps, depending on yellows and how much you save. But if they can't make it, then at least they don't have to put in as much fuel as their other counterparts would need to be.
That's right.
But still, I think the only guy, or the only 2 or 3 that did not come down that I believe that stayed out after the stage were the 2 up front, Brandon Bowie and Brandon Six. Now, Brandon Bowie has fought his way all the way back to the front.
Love to see it.
The problem is he did not pit. He has not pitted yet, I don't think. At least for fresh tires, I don't think he is pitted. So he's right there on old Goodyear rubber.
That's true. Right now, our boy's trying to make a good second stage here. This one's long. Keep in mind, we end this thing at 75. So big, long stage right here. Right now, these boys are going to choose. Let's take a good look here. End of the Geico restart zone is the end of the choose rule. Couple guys, Sobel going high. Bunch of guys staying up high. There we okay. Okay. Definitely some movers and shakers up here at the back of the pack. Let's see what they do. Couple guys going low. Okay. Couple guys staying high. Good job. Nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, this is cool, Frankie, because, I mean, you can really gain some serious positions if you just say, you know what, 20 guys are taking the high line because that's the preferred line here, but I'm going to go low and you know, make up 5, 6, 7, you know, however many spots.
Yeah, and what it really does is it puts... It kind of takes away that, oh, I lost the race because I got stuck in the wrong lane. Well, now you could choose your lane. Now, you know, that takes that whole argument out the window. It's... You chose your own destiny, and we'll see. I'm a little surprised by the choice of Brandon Bowie. I would have thought he'd pick the outside, because that's what we've been seeing all night long. The second place car following the leader. But he picked the bottom. Maybe it's because he would have a teammate, and Brian Chan was pushing him. We shall see.
We shall. Right now, different leader, Brandon Six, going to lead us off on lap 38. We're going green. Here we go. Seeing some checkup here in the back of the pack, mid-pack. Anthony Williams, Mitch Diamond. Don't tell me we're going to go 3 wide here into turn 1. Oh, okay. Here we go. Nice job. Nice job. Jet Jones, new driver right there in the 38. That shiny white car. Love that. Great job so far by him. Young driver Joseph Mealy going to try and make it 3, 4 wide here. Oh, Lord. Anthony Williams, Mark Whitley. Frankie, I said it. These guys going to try and get through this pack quick. It's a lot of suspect driving in the back of the pack here.
I mean, yeah, it's just guys going for the same spot. And Joseph Mealy pushing the issue. Got backed out just in time. But, man. So far, you stayed green.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way, drivers.
That's half the battle.
But right now, Joseph Mealy, by doing that and by being aggressive, he is ahead of his other counterparts in Mark Whitley and Trevor Zelazny. By being that little bit more aggressive, he is ahead of him. And more importantly, he's ahead of Trevor Zelazny, who he is fighting that Dash for Cash.
Oh, hold on now. Holy, what? Oh. Whoa, Charles Bounds. Hold on now. Charles Bounds finishing off Dunkelberger. Save that for the radioactive NASCAR out of context. But let's go back and watch it. That's what we do.
Yeah, I believe it unfortunately involved one of the Dash for Cash participants.
Oh no, Trevor's Lasney. Let's take a
I
look.
believe so. It looked like it. That MK2 aerospace truck is not hard to find.
Okay, let's take a look here. Dunkelberger kind of dives it. Not gonna lie, dives into turn one. Melvin Young, man, he's been in every single caution. I feel like right now, Dunkelberger spinning out. Melvin Young getting involved. Yeah, just Zelazny has nowhere to go. Again, Frankie, we talked about it. You know, back of the pack. It's so hard when you have these fresh tires and you're trying to just get through the field. You know, this thing can happen. It's just so tough. It's so tough.
Yeah,
But like we said, you want to stay up
it's
front as much as you can.
absolutely. It's just guys. It's just guys trying to make things happen. You know, they're trying to gain multiple spots. You know, they're doing all they can, and it's right now not a good night for a couple of those guys, and that's the risk. Like we just talked about, Travis Lasney making that decision to go down pit road.
Yes, sir. Well, that shakes up a lot. Trevor's Lasney, Dash for Cash driver. Going to be a hard-fought battle to get up here. Not quite halfway yet, but we're almost there. And that's going to be hard for him for sure. But back up front, Josh Sobel leads this race. Going to get that extra point for leading a lap. Love to see it. 06 getting the wave around there. Great to see that. A couple guys right here that are not, I mean, I wouldn't say surprising, but I'm glad to see them up front. I'll put it that way. I'm glad to see it. Thomas Meeks, P4, Jesse Nekula, P3. I mean, Jamie Graham earlier, Frankie, we saw him spinning out, saving it. Just a great job by not wrecking it. P5 right now.
Yeah, we got a couple of these guys. These are new players up here, and feel like we never talk about these guys a lot because they're they're in 10th, 15th. Like they're doing all they can. They're trying their heart out, and sometimes they just don't have it. Like like Brandon Bowie or Brandon Six or Mark Whitley. You know, and it's great that we're now putting a spotlight on these guys.
Yes, sir. Hey, one thing I want to shout out real quick, the chat. The chat is just, they do not miss. Right now, I have been looking through the entire chat, the entire race, and I'll tell you what, they are on fire right now. It is hilarious what we're seeing. So guys, you know what? Keep it up. Don't hold back. Do your thing, man. It is, it's a blast. So, lap 44, this race is still young.
Indeed, this race is still young. I feel like they're all also roasting me. Nick, please don't roast me, please.
Nick,
I'm a huge fan. Please
I mean,
don't.
I would much rather see Nick in this race tonight. So first of all, where the hell are you? You got to defend this championship, buddy. And second of all, I don't know. It's hilarious. Nick Light's in the chat. Miss him on track, but he is surely finding his presence here today for sure. So hey, P2 Brian Chambliss right now in that 67 Bowie Esports car. Listen, our man here, he's looking to get that money, and he's had a great season. Kind of a quiet season. You know, when you talk, Bowie had a great, and not by choice, right? But just he's had a great season. He's kind of had that, like where did he come from kind of season.
Yeah, I believe he finished third at Daytona. One of the biggest races of the year. He gets a podium. Looks like I have a little voice in my ear that we're not going. I don't think we're going green this time. I don't think we're going green this time. I don't know if it's just me. Am I in shambles, or is
No,
there someone in shambles?
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. The chat, I need to literally close down chat right now. Normally on the broadcast, we don't really, I mean, like, no offense, we don't necessarily talk to chat just because, we're putting on a broadcast, right? We're covering the race. But this week we are under special circumstances, and it's just funny. But here, anyway, Josh Silva going to try and lead this thing off. Gonna have a great time. Brian Chambliss and P2. Here we go. Lap 45, Frank. You're gonna have 30 laps to go in this second stage.
It kind of makes me wonder about all those guys that just came down pit road. That this past caution. Do you think they have enough fuel to make it? I think these caution laps are almost a certainty they'll make it.
Well,
And the guys that pitted just before that. So, man, I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, it's tough. We're hearing that these guys can go 25 laps. I mean, am I off on that? So if that's the case, 30 laps to go, we're going to go green in about a lap or two here. That's tough. I mean, these guys are right on the brink of making it.
Yeah, I mean, we got some radio chatter over about the choose rule and a little miscommunication, but yeah, and just one more note in the chat. Racer, I'm all down for you doing a chat commentary. That would be comedy gold. Right then and there.
We'll do it soon for sure. I think we can do it a lot more for the truck series, but obviously we want to put on a good show and a good broadcast. But listen, at the end of the day, we appreciate you.
Yes, exactly. We appreciate all 46 of you that are in here currently. You know, you guys are what really makes this all possible, and with a number of different variables. But we thank you.
Every like and subscribe equals a thought and a prayer. Okay, here we go. Green flag. Joshua Sobel going to lead us off. Brian Chambliss, here we go. Oh, Brian Chambliss, not a great restart, but Joshua Sobel just fires off.
Yeah, let's really see what Josh Sobel has under that pink and black hood tonight. Let's see what he's got. We didn't really talk about him a lot. I think he's got a pretty fast pink and black pony right there. Now he's got the clean air to support it.
Here we go. Uh-oh. We're going 3 wide here. Brandon 6, Brandon Bowie. Oh, they let up just a little bit. Good stuff. So, Frankie, as the night kind of comes down here, the sun's going down. I don't know what the hell I just said. But how does the track perform? Oh, yellow flag on the track yet again. Lap 48. What do we see here?
I believe I heard an engine blow up.
Frankie, I'm on lock tonight, man. I don't know about you.
Man.
I'm getting epilepsy just trying to find the camera. Okay, here we go. Charlie Birch.
We might be sounding like a couple of broken records, but there is another caution.
Yeah. You hate to... Okay, let's take a look. Charlie Birch in that Charlotte Hornets car. Oh, hold on now. Mitch Diamond comes up a little bit. Gets into Lamphere. Yeah, Charlie Birch hard on the brakes, trying to avoid. Dungelberger's going to slam into Birch. That's not going to be good damage for him. But yeah, I mean, unfortunate right there. I mean, I wonder, Frankie, was that some maybe payback a little bit? Because that caution earlier, I feel like, wasn't that Lamphere and Mitch Diamond getting involved?
I don't think it was Mitch. I think that was which caution are you talking about? The second one on the restart?
We've had a lot. I don't know.
Okay.
But yes.
To be fair, I think that was... I know the second one on the restart was Lamphere and Josh Purcell. It wasn't with Mitch Diamond. But either way, intentional or not, it does look like Mitch Diamond does come up maybe half a lane, maybe a little bit more.
I don't think I'm not saying it's intentional. I'm just trying to refer back to an incident that happened earlier. I thought it was between Lamphere and Diamond, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize, but just we'll go from there. Either way, lap 49, about to cross it to halfway. We've had like a million cautions. It's all right. It's Gateway. It's a tough track. And really, Frankie, when you think about it, I mean, we don't really go to many short tracks this season except IRP. So really this kind of has short track vibes, right? I mean, New Hampshire, Dover, like they're short tracky, but this one in particular, especially 1 and 2, it's tight, man.
Yeah, like I said in the pre-race, it almost, I would say 1 and 2 races like a bigger short track. I would say more like maybe more like New Hampshire, which is not a short track, but it's more of a short track on steroids. But yeah, 1 and 2 races like a short track, and then 3 and 4 almost races like a mile and a half.
Exactly.
It's fast. It's, one's fast and sweepy, one's slow and slower, I should say, not slow at all, and hard on the brakes.
Frankie, you need to save me. I'm done.
You're done?
Listen, you know what? This season? First, I will say the first 3 races have actually been very good, very clean, and awesome. Right now, listen, it's caution filled, it's a mess. I mean, when it's green, it's good racing. But you know what? Today is one of those days we're having a good time, man. We're just sitting back, calling the race, and I feel good, Frankie. I don't know about you.
I mean, I feel good that we have amazing supporters out there.
Yes, sir.
And that are making you crack up and making me crack up. Unfortunately, the race has not gone to plan for many people. But listen, it happens in real life. It happens here. Gateway's not an easy track, and all we got to do is just make good of what happens.
Yes, sir. Well, lap 51, we have 24 laps to go until the end of stage 2. We'll see how it goes. A lot of things are shaking up. Mark Whitley finds himself back into the top 5. Brandon Bowie back in P15. So Dash for Cash driver right here in P15. Kind of up and down day for him, but obviously just tough track, tough crowd. He's getting there though. And then Joseph Mealy right now currently in P4. Again, going for that Dash for Cash, but right now the leader of that Dash for Cash 4 is Brian Chambliss in P2. Travis Lasney, unfortunately, in the 31st position. Looks like he is out of the race. His hopes for the Dash for Cash is gone for today, but there are still 3 left to go.
Now we're coming around to the green. See if Josh Sobel can take it by the hands and go get after it.
Here we go. Green flag in the air right now. Here we go. Great restart.
Oh, we got mayhem. We got carnage. We got carnage.
Oh, lordy. Woo. Okay.
I believe that'll maybe start in the middle 1 and 2, maybe go to Brandon 6. Man, I think somebody almost got shoved into the wall, and just a whole chain reaction just happened.
Okay, so Frankie, I'll tell you what, buddy. We're in a whole new level of shambles today. But you know what? This is what we do. You know what? Races like this, we sit back and have fun. That's all we do. So for the 37 of you who are here, yeah, it's a wreck fest. You know what? It is what it is at this point. Let's just sit back, have a cold one, and tell some jokes, man. Because at this point, it's all good. It's all good, baby. Let's take a look at this incident. We'll go rewind. Don't know why I did that voice, but let's go back at it. Let's pause. I think this happens actually in front of this. So let's go back to...
Yeah, I'd say maybe go to Brandon 6.
Ooh.
Something. I believe it happened either right in front of him or...
So Brandon...
Right there.
Oh,
ooh.
yeah. So also Jet Jones gets into the Justin Sorrell right there. Couple of checkups. His song getting into 6. Oh, man. Couple of tough breaks. Bowie, I'll tell you what, man. Luckiest guy so far, just gets around these guys. McKenzie Jr. getting involved.
I tell you what, you'd think Brandon Bowie was a cat and had 9 lives, because it feels like he's been either right behind or right in the middle of every single wreck that has happened tonight.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, this is Melvin Young. I feel bad for him. I don't think any of these incidents are his fault, but he just finds himself in every single one. It's unfortunate, but we saw this, and I guess I probably should have mentioned this in the pre-race, before all the after all the technical issues we had. Excuse me. For some reason, and I've already mentioned it, right? The first 3 races so far this season, Daytona, Nashville, and Pocono, have actually been incredible. Very, very good races, very minimal cautions, you know. They've been really good. The preseason race, I chose Gateway because it's a new race, it's a new track, etc. I expected to see some of the issues worked out back then, you know, to the lead up of this. But to be honest, we're seeing the same kind of racing unfold as that preseason race. So, I mean, it's bound to happen. I feel like at some tracks, right, where maybe the match doesn't just work out the right way. But either way, listen, we're having fun with it. Someone's going to win this race. Someone's going to lock themselves into the playoffs. We're going to have a Dash for Cash, winner. So all these things add up, right? I chose the Dash for Cash race, the first one, to be here for that reason. We saw it in the preseason kind of be a mess. It's going to be a mess here. So now we have that extra narrative. These boys are going to go for that choose rule right now. Again, the beginning of the end of the Geico restart zone is where they choose. That is, it becomes official right there. As this race goes, a lot of these guys getting it right. Loving these guys starting to figure this out. Here we go. Right now, Frankie, lap 56, 19 laps to go. I mean, did these guys pit? Not a lot of guys pit here, I'll tell you what. Fuel mileage, stage points are huge. We've seen that in the past. A playoff berth on the line. Woo! A lot there, man.
Absolutely. I believe the huge winners so far in this stage are the guys that pitted right after the stage ended, because it seems like if you were able to get through the carnage, where it looks like Joseph Mealy and Mark Whitley sitting in second and third on the inside line have gotten past all the carnage, and right now they're sitting P2 and 3 basically on the same strategy as Brian Chambliss, Josh Sobel, Nick Silver, Jamie Graham. Like, they have worked their way all the way to the front.
Someone's I think we have like a Russian bot in the chat sending us some weird go find your perfect match. Well, that's been deleted. The perfect match is right here. Joshua Sobel leading the way at Gateway. Doing a great job too.
I was about to say, Reese, or Steve, that's a nice segue.
Oof. Somebody clip that.
Please don't.
A lot of hacking going on today.
Yep, these guys are hacking. These guys are hacking at the racetrack, and someone's maybe trying to hack at the...
In the chat. Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm cool with bots, but you gotta subscribe first. That's all I ask. Anyway, mid-pack. Ooh, these guys are, I'll tell you what, right now. Justin Sorrell right here. Thomas Meeks. A lot of these guys were beating and banging a second ago. That was tough.
Yeah, these guys are...
Frankie, stop laughing. Stop it. I hear you snickering.
I can't pull it together, Steve. I'm sorry.
Joseph Mealy. Oh, okay. I thought he was going up a little wide right there, but he is good to go. Mark Whitley, here he comes, steaming ahead. Lap 60. I'll tell you what, Mark Whitley wants this win, man. Oh, hold on now. Joseph Mealy goes around. Grammy Graham. What'd I say?
Gammy Gam. Jamie Graham.
Yep, you heard it here.
Great move.
You heard it here. Dude, Jamie Graham's gone around like 4 times and he saved it every single time. I'm impressed.
Somebody get this guy a Formula Drift deal. Right now, got a battle for P2. Mark Whitley, Ryan Chambliss. Ooh, Chambliss going to try to rocket around the outside of Whitley. Is Chambliss going to maybe forfeit that spot? No, he's going to fight him.
Great job. Mark Whitley making a move here on Brian Chambliss. Frankie, how dangerous is that rumble strip in turn 3 and 4?
I'd say it's not as dangerous as 1 and 2. It's still pretty dangerous. You know,
Okay.
you don't want to put 2 tires on it. Like, if you can maybe get next to it, it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of that imaginary line you were thinking as kids, you know, playing dodgeball. Get close to it, don't cross it. But yeah, that's kind of one of those. I don't know where that analogy came from, but we're rolling with it.
We're we're gonna go with it. Mark Whitley is charging to his teammate Joshua Sobel. Harpoon Design cars and paints. I'll tell you what, guys. If anybody in the chat needs an iRacing paint, the only place you need to go is harpoondesign.com and look nowhere else. This man produces the best looking paints on iRacing. I'll fight you.
Absolutely.
If you say anything different, I'll fight you.
Man, I'll tell you what, Brantley's having a good night.
Yes, sir.
He's got P1 and P2 so far. I think Mark Whitley's probably got the truck to beat tonight. I think Brantley might be getting another bag of popcorn.
Yes, sir. Right now, Jesse Necula in the 84, making a great run right here. We saw a lot of Jesse Necula back in Season 2 of the Cup Series this time last year, and has made a comeback into the ASRA and doing a great job so far, Cup Series and Truck Series. Right now in P5. Awesome run for him. You love to see it. Couple guys, let's cover a couple of guys we haven't talked about so far this race. Thomas Meeks having a fantastic run, P10. That truck, not gonna lie, looks pretty good, Frankie. That back has a little bit of a damage right there, but keeping it clean, P10.
Yep, that's about half the battle in this race so far. Keeping the truck clean. Looks like the cleanest trucks have made their way towards the front.
Love that. Michael Bennett right now trying to get around Mitch Diamond and vice versa. Michael Bennett actually released this new paint scheme earlier today. Looking great. Almost Hardware, local driver up here in the Northeast region, Stafford Motor Speedway in Thompson, I believe, but great paint scheme here. Awesome job. We've talked about Jamie Graham a few times so far, making some awesome saves in that car. Knows how to handle it. He's proven it time and time again.
And we're about 10 laps till the end of the stage. So far, the top 10 looks like to have pulled away from the rest of the pack, I'd say.
Yes, sir.
Maybe, yep. I think that's Bowie going around Thomas Meeks for P10 right now.
That's right. Not gonna lie, I love this paint scheme by Brandon Bowie. This 23, the Stop AAPI Hate. From my understanding, this is Asian American Pacific influence, I believe. So the Asian Americans. So go to, what's that car say? Stop AAPIHate.org to learn more. Interesting. I'll have to go look at that. Ooh, right now, CVP Christer Vanderplatz, as we call him. Getting a little loose there. Brandon Six trying to push his teammate Brandon Bowie back to the front. These boys are sitting 9th and 10th. Not looking too bad. P10 gives out the final stage point. So these boys trying to move up as fast as they can back to the front for stage points. But Joshua Sobel still up front. Right now, Mark Whitley not really catching Sobel as quickly as I would have expected, to be honest. Are tires evening out, Frankie?
I would say yes, but at the end, at the same time, Mark Whitley didn't come down pit road a little later than Josh Sobel, and I do think that Mark Whitley has a little bit of a better truck than Josh Sobel. But either way, Josh Sobel, big shout out. I don't think he's been up front for the first three races this year. Now he's getting all of his TV time up front at Gateway, putting Brantley at Harpoon Designs on the map.
Love that.
Along with Mark Whitley.
Yeah, a lot of cool paint schemes right now. Brandon Six, and then his teammate Nick Silver in P4. Haven't actually talked much about Nick Silver. You know why? Because his and Brandon Bowie's paint schemes are the exact same. So whenever I see Nick Silver, I think about Brandon Bowie. But right now, Nick Silver has got a car for these boys. He is P4 and he is coming quick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of surprised me how low Nick Silver qualified. I would have thought he would have been a top 5 car, and in qualifying, Where did he qualify? I believe he qualified. Yeah, he qualified 18th.
Yeah.
For Nick Silver, that is not good.
No, sir.
Like we know Nick Silver, he strives for greatness along with Brandon Bowie and Brandon Six.
Hey, Brian Chambliss, Dash for Cash driver and current leader right there before you pit is in pit road with 5 laps to go. Frankie, what is this? Giving up stage points?
Oh, I don't think he would have wanted to give up stage points, but I think he had to. I think if you could have made it to that stage end, but you never know. Maybe he's thinking long term. Maybe he's thinking.
Josh Sobel too, Frankie. What's going on here, man?
I just don't think these guys could make it. I think they tried as long as they can, trying to save fuel. I think they kind of finally met their match. That's what I was saying. Maybe they pitted at the beginning of the stage. With all the caution laps, they couldn't get to the end. Right now, it is basically handed this race to Mark Whitley.
Yes, sir, but right now you can't count out Nick Silver. Nick Silver might even have fresher tires. He is just in a rush right now, but he's right there. 4 laps to go, 3 to go at the line for stage 2.
Yeah, we got another. So right now, the Dash for Cash leader is Joseph Mealy in P3.
That's right.
He was on the same strategy as Mark Whitley. Can he make it to the end of this stage? That's the big important key. Can the rest of these guys make it?
Hey, look right here. Oh, you're right. If they can make it, that could be huge, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, JD right here in that 04 badass American Lager Ford. Tell you what, we talked about him last week. This car is just awesome. This truck paint scheme is great, but currently in P4, looking pretty good. Quiet night, but has kept all those fenders on, not a scratch on it. That's what it takes sometimes, man.
Yeah, like I was saying before, that's half the battle. And right now he is winning at least that half of the battle. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have the speed as Mark Whitley, Nick Silver, Joseph Mealy, but man, he's doing his part tonight by keeping that truck clean. Shout out to Jonathan Wright.
Love that. Right now, going to be 1 lap to go at the line for stage 2. Nick Silver, I feel like, is right there, man. He is so close. Let's see if we can catch him. Lap 74. 1 more lap to go to stage 2.
You saw that downshift there. So these guys are actually downshifting in 1 and 2. Let's see if they downshift in 3 and 4. These guys are on older tires.
Gets a small run right here.
There you go. There's the downshift. So they are downshifting in both ends of the racetrack on older tires. But man, I don't think he's close enough to Mark Whitley to mount a charge. As Mark Whitley coming around turn 4, he's going to win this second stage.
Love that. Mark Whitley with the stage 2 victory. Close by. Nick Silver's in P2. Joseph Mealy in P3. Jonathan Wright in P4. P5 will be Brandon Six. P6 is Brandon Bowie. And P7, Robert Hissong. Haven't talked much about him, but looking good out there. Nice and consistent. P7. P8 is Mitch Diamond, his teammate. Michael Bennett in P9. And then Chris Vanderplatz after a busy day so far. Right now being rated as P10. Great job with these guys. Right now we're going to go and hit a quick commercial break for our sponsors. We'll be right back, folks. Alrighty, folks, back out front. We are in Gateway. The sun is setting, and this is the Dash for Cash presented by harpoondesign.com. If you need a paint, if you need, I mean, you just saw it, right? The ad. If you need a paint, if you need just anything done for your iRacing car, truck, dirt model car, whatever, I don't know, go to harpoondesign.com. Go and check them out. They are the place you want to go for all your paints. This man's great. He's actually already in our Discord too, so he's accessible all the time. He works with you. Definitely want to go and check him out. But right now we are at the end of season, yeah. At the end of stage 2. Mark Whitley is your stage 2 winner. And we're going to have a quick little sprint here for the end, Frankie. This unique format for this race today.
Yeah, right now I think big winner so far, Mark Whitley and Joseph Mealy. Both those guys pitted just after, I would say, the first or second yellow in that stage 2. And they were able to make it all the way. And right now, I believe Brandon 6 might have beat Mark Whitley off pit road. I'm not sure. Might have to get on that. I believe he did. I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong. Or maybe I'm not.
It's all good. Well, right now we're going to have 23 laps to go. Right now about 20 laps to go, actually, by the time we get going. And this is going to be interesting. This is a unique format. We talked about it earlier, but for new folks who are coming in here, how this is going to work. I mean, it really, for the Dash for Cash 4, I mean, right now it's really 3 because, unfortunately, Trevor Lasney is out of the race. But Joseph Mealy is currently leading that Dash for Cash 4 drivers. So doing a great job right there. Currently in P4. The next one in line, Brian Chambliss in P9. Great job for him. And then Brandon Bowie, up and down day so far for him, but currently in P11. So great job by these guys holding it strong. Again, the driver who finishes at the very above these 3 will win that Dash for Cash. Trevor Lasney is actually in the race right now, but multiple laps down, so not quite gonna get the job done today. But Brandon 6 currently up front, looking for his first truck win of his career, Frankie. Obviously, we know how dominant he is in the Cup Series. Can he pull it off in the Truck Series?
I think Brandon 6 can. Now, I think he has gotten that damage, what he had on it. I think he got most of it fixed. And now he's going to be the control car, or control truck in this case, on the restart. But I do want to talk about something else. The Dash for Cash. Right now, Joseph Mealy is in line to take that Dash for Cash dub. But right now, I wouldn't go to sleep on what may happen next, because you got Brian Chambliss, who's not far behind Joseph Mealy, and we have a couple cautions or whatnot. Joseph Mealy may get unlucky, move back a couple spots. Brian Chambliss gets lucky, moves a couple spots. You never know what might happen. So
yes,
Joseph Mealy's got to be on his toes. He's got to keep moving forward. He cannot be moving backwards. Oh boy.
Racer48 Racer in the chat. How much is the Dash for Cash pool? 6K? If you know, you know. Here we go. Brandon 6, P1. Gonna lead it. Here we go. Green flag in the air for the beginning of stage 3. And you know what we're gonna do. If we can sneak it in. Gonna get in that. Crank it up. Actually bring the noise. Sponsored by Harpoon Design. Let's get it. All right, well, you saw it. Yellow flag is out. We thought we could sneak in a quick little bring the noise as we started that first stage, but unfortunately, calamity. Let's go back and take a look.
Calamity's kind of been the word for the night, has it? Has it been, Steve?
It certainly has. Okay. Chopper view. Okay, so let's rewind it just a scooch. Oh, hold on now. Okay, so right here, I mean, Chris Vanderplat's, I'm guessing in that blue and black car in the right truck, thinks maybe he's clear in front of Josh Purcell. Trying to get around McKinsey right here, but just isn't quite there.
I think what also contributed to that is that 84 Jesse Necula gives that 57 a bump that gets him to go faster, obviously. And yeah, I think he just kind of puts him in a spot. I don't think it's either one's fault. I think they both kind of one zigged, one zagged kind of racing deal.
Not good. Our driver on the thumbnail for today, the Harpoon design. I'll tell you what, that paint still looks great, even banged up like that. But either way, he's still under power, man. So, but this is the chaos that I feel like this last stage brings. It's a different format. Normally, we'd already be well into stage 3, but with this, Frankie, I mean, we are 19 laps to go, and that's it. So you have to position yourself right now to try and win this race.
Yeah, and right now, I think there's only one person in the best position right now, and that's that 66 truck of Brandon 6. He's kind of in the best spot right now. He controls the restart. He controls the line. I think he is as fast as Mark Whitley. Mark Whitley is going to have... The stage is going to have to go green, at least for a couple laps for Mark Whitley to maybe get his hands on Brandon 6. But yeah, and like I was talking about with Joseph Mealy and Brian Chambliss, let's get an update on where they both are, and it looks like they're about 3 spots away from each other. 2 cars in between.
Yeah.
Those 2 drivers, and from Chambliss to Brandon Bowie, is another two trucks behind. So, like I said, Joseph Mealy did not lose spots.
Right.
He didn't really gain them either. And Brian Chambliss maybe went aggressive on that restart and gained a couple spots.
True.
Right now, they're only sitting 2 trucks away from one another.
That's right.
So we have to ask the question. Sorry, Steve. Would you move them? Would you maybe put that front bumper to that back bumper?
Oof. I mean, listen, I kind of have a history. Okay. I mean, if I'm trying to go for that dash for cash, right? I'm moving it, dude. I'm sorry. I'm doing it. Penalty point impending, probably. But I'll tell you what, sometimes there's just certain things, or for a win, right? For a win, for a playoff spot, whatever it is, right? I'm moving the guy. I think not with the intent of maybe spinning him out, right? But definitely with the intent of giving him a little, push up high.
Absolutely. Man, that choose rule, a little different outcome. Joseph Mealy last time picked the outside. That put him 3rd in line. Now he is 2nd in line on the bottom. Brian Chambliss surprisingly did not go to the outside. He went to the inside. So now he's 4th on the inside line.
Very strange.
Yeah, we've seen that outside work all night long.
You're going to make me start singing, Frankie. Don't do it.
Oh, boy. I don't even know what you're thinking, but I don't want to go there.
I'm a boomer. So, anyway, back up front, Brandon, what's his name? Brandon 6. On the outside, going to lead us off. 16 laps to go. The Dash for Cash race. Who can get it?
Hold her steady.
Green flag in the air. Let's go. 16 laps to go. Nice tight field. Brandon Bowie, keep in mind, still mired back in P11. Trying to go for 4 in a row, but might not look like it's going to happen today. We are looking to get a first-time winner in series history for the Harpoon Design Truck Series. These boys doing a great job so far in the mid-pack.
Oh, we got a slow track. Clinton would be.
Yeah, definitely slow. Engine failure for sure. At least damage. Yellow flag in the air again. Looks like Thomas Meeks. A couple guys back here in the way back. We'll take a look to go, or we'll take a look at it. Excuse me. All right, Justin Sorrell, Thomas Meeks, Jamie Graham, all around each other. Oof. Big oof, man.
And maybe, I would say maybe rewind it a little bit. Maybe, not beginning of backstretch, maybe middle back.
Yeah.
You might be able to see the whole picture.
Okay, so we're going 3 wide. I like what you're saying here, Frankie. Let's start right here. We'll slow it down when need be. Right now, still too wide. Slow down here just a little bit. So Necula here,
3 wide.
yeah, Necula kind of pulls out down the inside. Sorrell looks pretty slow right here, but then Jimmy Graham dives it on the inside. I mean, obviously it's 16 laps to go. It's go time, baby. But like, woo, that's a bold move, Cotton. Yeah, and then Sorrell just has kind of nowhere to go. Gets into the side of Meeks. Gonna come down, maybe in front of Lamphere. Oh man, Jet Jones has nowhere to go. Collects him. Yeah, Travis Lasney also getting involved.
Tell you what, it's been a tough night for Travis Zelaski. He's fast early. Unfortunately, made that pit strategy with Joseph Amelia and Mark Whitley, and right now they just cannot. He just cannot catch a break at this point. I mean, he's I think 19, 18 laps down, just trying to log laps. Not the night that he was hoping for.
No.
In that Dash or Cash running.
Frankie, the chat's making fun of me because I'm laughing too much.
Oh, come on, Chad. Go easy on Steve, okay? We're both in shambles, okay? We're both in shambles. This race is kind of shambles at this point. You know, don't go easy on us, Chad.
It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's fine. Post-race meeting going to be real interesting. Lap 13. These boys going to come around 2 more times. We're going to go green, Frankie, with about 11 laps to go. How many more cautions do we see? And here's the grand question. Do we see a green-white checkered, our one and only?
I mean, I have some bad history with that one green-white checkered. But I will say, I don't want it to come out tonight. And to be honest, I don't think it will. I think these guys, I have full confidence these guys will get the job done and run these last, I don't know, 11, 12 laps. When they take the green, I'm confident they will run 11 and 12 green flag perfect laps.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Unfortunately, I think I might have put the commentator's curse on it, but you know what? We're going to roll with it.
It's all good. 13 laps to go. These boys are going to choose right here. Going to try and get a good start. We'll stay on this angle if we can, or maybe even... I think for next week, Frankie, we're going to work on a choose a rule camera. That sounds like a great idea. Here we go. Mark going down low.
Joseph Mealy, I think, is also going down low. Interesting.
A lot of guys staying high right here, Frankie.
Well, the outside's usually where you want to be. And talking about that all night. But I think on the bottom, I think people really like the bottom because you really control your own destiny on the bottom. If you're on the top, you're on the outside, you're just hoping that guy on the bottom doesn't make a mistake, overdrive his entry, get up into you, or, whether it's on accident or on purpose. You're putting full trust on the guy on the bottom. Some of these guys maybe are not ready for that.
Oh, for sure. Yep. So right now we're going to go green with 11 laps to go. What's the situation? Well, here it is. Brandon 6 is currently leading, looking for his first ever Harpoon truck design. What? Harpoon Design Truck Series win. Same for Mark Whitley and Nick Silver. So we are trying to get a first-time winner here today. Joseph Mealy is currently in P4, is your Dash for Cash leader currently. Trying to get that going. Jonathan Wright, Michael Bennett is sawing a lot of guys up here in the front who've never won. They're trying to do it here tonight, Gateway. Mark Whitley and Brandon Six leading that front pack. Here we go, we're going green right now.
Oh, we got Brandon Bowie ducking out 3 wide. Right behind
Whoa,
Joseph Mealy.
big wreck. Brian Chambliss, Michael Bennett. Holy.
Oh. Well, that is my fault, chat. I'll put full 100% responsibility on me. I put the commentator's curse on it. Please do not absolutely roast me. We love you, chat.
Hold up. Let him cook. Where is... What am I even looking at? At this point, all the colors just blur together. There's been so many cautions. I have no idea what's happening.
I think that all started when Brandon Bowie made an aggressive move.
Okay, let's look at it. Holy. Okay. Bowie is mounting the 46 car.
He's giving him a high five.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Let's take a look. Back it up. Oh, man. Yeah,
Ooh.
46 makes a crazy defend right there. Oh, I'm sorry, 19. My bad, 19. We'll go back and look at that again. That was extremely aggressive. Man, yeah, Bennett just comes down into him, trying to stop him from getting that lower line advantage right there, but not sure what that was from Bennett, unless there was some prior history in the race that we haven't seen, but that is not what you want to see ever, really, in the race, unless it's justified, I guess, but that's tough. Tough. So where does that leave us? 9 laps to go. Another caution, another restart. And frankly, this kind of changes the game. I mean, you know, right now, if you're Brandon Six, you kind of love all these cautions, right? Because the laps just keep winding down. You keep, you know, getting these great restarts. And Mark Whitley really can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I would almost look at it as a positive negative. Like, Brandon Six, obviously a positive is you're running these laps under caution. You don't have to do any work. All you got to do is just sit on pace speed and ride behind that pace drive. The negative is, with all these restarts, you're looking at Mark Whitley. Like, if you're in the mind of Mark Whitley, you're trying to see where Brandon Six is going. What's his tendencies?
Right.
Does he kind of rev the motor, but just before he goes? Does he kind of I don't know, accelerate a little bit when he goes? Does he brake a little bit before he goes? Like, every restart, Mark Whitley is getting smarter and smarter on where Brandon Six is going to go. He's going to guess right if there are more cautions. You know, there's only so many points where Brandon Six can go. You know, he can't keep going at the same mark every time. So he's trying to change it up. But there's only so many different marks that Brandon Six is going. Sooner or later, Mark Whitley is going to guess right. All he has to do is guess right on one of those.
That's right.
And if he can get down, drive it in hard into the corner, slide job Brandon Six, or maybe not even, just get to the corner first, caution comes out, Mark Whitley is now the leader. But we have some interesting moves.
Yes, sir, right now.
The top 5 have chosen the top side, except for Nick Silver.
I think they realize, right, the outside lane on that restart is so huge. You can really get around that first car pretty good. But this is a good move for Whitley, I feel like. Now he's going to start behind him. He realizes maybe he can match that speed a little bit better. But Brandon 6 and P1, we're going to go green with 6 laps to go. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully we keep it green. Right now, also, keep in mind, Joseph Mealy in P7 is currently your leader for the Dash for Cash drivers, currently ahead of the other 3. Next one in line is Brandon Bowie in P11. And then behind him, Brian Chambliss, unfortunately involved in that last wreck, but currently in 20th. So right now, it looks like it's going to be either Mealy or Brandon Bowie for this Dash for Cash. They're going for it.
Yeah, even with that wreck, Brandon Bowie's still in this Dash for Cash race. It's going to be interesting to see what he will do to get that money. Going green. Ready? We are green.
Here we go. Mark does not do a great job matching him on that restart. Nick Silver gets the point, P2. Teammates working together potentially, trying to get Silver behind 6. 6 laps to go. Great restart by these guys. Great jump. We're still green. Hallelujah. A lot of Dyson back here in the middle of the pack. So far, so good. These boys want to end it green just like everybody else does. Awesome job.
Well, now it's teammate v teammate.
Oh, Robert Hissong made a great... Oh, got real loose right there, but saves it. We're staying green here.
We got 2 very important races. The battle for the win. It's teammate on teammate. Maybe Mark Whitley.
Right here.
Ooh,
Jonathan Wright holding him up.
That's the other important battle.
This is your Dash for Cash right here. Mealy gonna try and stay up ahead. Bowie's looking so fast right now. Mealy. The lead up front is not changing. Brandon 6. Nick Silver gonna make a move here on the inside.
We have a caution.
Oh, a caution on the track. No, Nick Silver did not want to see this. He almost had him there in turn 3. So unfortunate. And then as we were just covering it, Joseph Mealy was able to stay up front of Bowie for this last yellow. So that's massive. Massive, massive. Let's take a look back. Yellow flag. I'm hearing it might be Jamie Graham. Has made so many good saves today. We'll just go back and take a look here. Man, that race was about to heat right up, man. And just unfortunate. Another loose condition here by Jamie, looks like, but this time couldn't quite hold on to it. Oh, comes across. Thomas Meeks up in the air.
Yeah, Jamie Graham has had, well, to say the least, an eventful night. He has made almost every save in the book. Unfortunately, that.
Yes, sir.
Broke that straw. Sorry, I'm trying to find the words.
What?
That straw.
It broke.
Yep,
Remix.
it broke the camel's. It broke
right.
the camel's back, unfortunately.
We're just playing, man. Okay, well, Frankie, you know what this does, right?
Green, white, checkered.
Yes. This will bring out our one and only attempt at the green-white checkered finish. So, for the folks at home watching, what does that mean? Well, that means I get more hate email because we don't have more than 3. Or 1, excuse me. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm not. So what that means is green-white checkers, we get 1 of them. So, we're going to go green one more time. We're going to get 1 more restart. After that initial restart, we're going to have 1 attempt to finish the race under green flag conditions. If we get a caution with 2 laps to go, the yellow will come out, and that will freeze the field and essentially end the race. Once the field is frozen, the drivers will still have to go back around to complete the checkered flag lap. They have to take the checkered flag for their position to be locked in. So, how will this end? Can we go green? Can we not go green? It's going to be tough. But Brandon 6 currently up front. This is exactly where he wants to be on a green-white checkered. He's going to get that great jump. You know he is. Mark Whitley, helpless in P2. Excuse me, Nick Silver currently. Going to be tough. But Brandon 6 going to get that great restart. If a yellow comes out immediately, it's his win. As long as he makes it back around to the checkered finish. Frankie, I'm seeing some guys turn their engines off. Are we close on fuel?
I think these guys, I think they
Look at
are
this.
kind of close.
Brandon
I think they're a
6
little
coasting.
close. Yeah, I think right now they just want to make sure that they absolutely can make it. They don't want any question at all. They want to race 110%. They want to go, you know, they just want to throw them up on the dash, as Noah Gregson would say.
That's true.
And just go for it.
That is true. Hey, real quick, folks who are watching, we have 40 people watching right now. That is incredible. I really appreciate you guys. Believe it or not, the Truck Series actually is popping off a lot more viewership-wise and concurrent viewership-wise than the Cup Series. So we love to see it. We thank you for your support, and we do ask, obviously, that you like and subscribe. That does help the channel go by so... it just helps us so much. We're so close to 200 subs. I believe we're at 186 the last time I checked. So if we can get to 200 tonight, which we could do if you hit that sub button, that would mean the world to us. We appreciate you and love you. So right now we're going to have, again, that green-white checkered. Frankie, this is going to be interesting. We're going to get that first-time winner, maybe. I mean, Brandon Bowie's right there in P4, but I just don't think he can pull it off with 2 laps to go.
Nah, he's gonna need a lot to go wrong. But I'll tell you what really surprised me: Joseph Mealy did not pick the bottom. I'm shocked.
So yeah, by doing that, Joseph Mealy gives up that lead position for the Dash for Cash drivers. When the yellow came out, he was ahead of Brandon Bowie, but now finds himself currently in P8, and Brandon Bowie's P4. So he chose the high line versus staying in front of Bowie. So we're going to see how that plays out. That could mean a lot. This thing stays green. We'll see how Joseph does. We've seen Joseph Mealy be bold, especially last week at Pocono, trying to get that win from Bowie. So we're going to see. But right now, we're going to get that one green-white checkered attempt. In Brandon 6, looking for his first ever Harpoon Design Truck Series win. Here we go. Going to go green right here. 2 laps to go. Next flag ends it. Brandon 6 leading him off into turn 1. That tight turn 1. So far, so good. Mark Whitley on the outside. Going to try and dive around Nick Silver. Does a great job. So far, we stay green. Nick Silver going to try and dive it in here on the inside. Can't quite get it. Mark's going to get a way better run here on the exit. There it is, Mark Whitley making that move. 1 lap to go. These boys will race to the end of the lap, end of the race. Ooh, Mark Whitley really close to Brandon 6. Will he send him? He does! Mark sends him. Mark says, screw that. I'm going for my first win ever in the Harpoon Design Truck Series. We don't blame him. Last lap, no yellow. No penalty. Mark Whitley in the number 7 Harpoon Design Series. Gonna get his first win ever in the Harpoon Design Truck Series. Nick Silver in P2 and Brandon Bowie in P3. Brandon Bowie will also be your Dash for Cash winner today at Gateway over Joseph Mealy. Woo!
Wow, what a last lap.
I'll tell you what.
Woo. I don't. Did he get loose, or
I
it
guess,
almost looked like he started getting loose, and then Mark Whitley just said, "Well, it's last lap. I'm not lifting." I mean, we don't blame him.
Exactly. We'll take a look at that replay, folks, in just a second. But first, we're gonna see Mark Whitley tear down this place right here. I know this is Gateway, but this could be the gateway to his season, figuratively and literally. Right now, Mark Whitley burning him down. I think, Frankie, this is the first of many this season.
I absolutely agree. This guy is extremely fast. Just has not had the luck.
What in the hell is... Okay.
Yeah.
Give the winner some
Apparently,
room. Come on now.
yeah, yeah, it looks like we're not the only ones who are in shambles tonight, Steve.
It's okay. But Mark Whitley wins an incredibly interesting race here at Gateway for the Harpoon Design Truck Series. Gets his first win. Love to see it. Huge win for that team. Awesome, awesome job. Well, let's real quick, before we talk to the top three, let's go back and look at that in that finish. Obviously, a crazy, crazy finish right there. This is going to be interesting. But Mark Whitley gets the job done, man. Let's see it. Brandon 6 takes the white flag. We thought Mark Whitley spun him. We'll see right here. Oh, boy. So far, nothing yet. Ooh, a little contact. Oh, Frankie, he touches him. He sends him. Hits that right rear quarter panel and sayonara.
Yeah, but I mean, I personally think he was getting a little loose. Maybe go a little bit further back on that replay, because it looks like in the middle of the corner, Brandon 6 was pulling away, and then something happened. That's at least what it looked like. But hell of a job from Mark Whitley getting even that close.
Let's take a look live on board.
He's gonna drive it in really deep. Yeah, I don't know. That from that angle, it looks like Mark didn't lift, but the Brandon 6 was lower on the track than I would think.
Let's see. Let's see if 6 has to lift here coming out of turn 2. Because we saw Whitley, he was pretty well straight in the gas, about middle of the corner out. Frankie, you called it. Got loose, it looks like.
Yeah, that was really weird. Maybe an aerial shot to confirm that, but either way, man, just what absolute heartbreak for Brandon 6. I mean, either way, if he did get loose, or if he did end up getting turned, either way, that is absolute heartbreak for Brandon 6.
Yes, sir. Well, Mark Whitley, at the end of the day, gets the job done. Nick Silver in P2 and Brandon Bowie in P3 is the winner for the Dash for Cash. Folks, we'll be right back. We're going to hit the commercials. Just a quick second to thank our sponsors. We'll be right back and talk to the top three. All right, folks. So right now we are back at Gateway for the Dash for Cash 4 race. We will bring in our top three. Let's first start off by bringing in our our third place finish. Actually, you know what? We'll go the other way. Mark Whitley. Let's see who's available actually first. Brandon Bowie. Here we go. We'll bring in Brandon Bowie. Talk to our man here. Brandon Bowie here in that 23 machine. Man, how you doing today, dude? Dash for Cash winner. congratulations, and then P3 on top of it, dude. How you feeling?
Uh, well, the race was long. I appreciate the dance for cash for sure. That was a great battle between me and Millie. I didn't actually think I was gonna be able to get back to him, but I I can definitely say I chose the right lane and was able to hold him off. So that was a little difficult. Been a struggle from the beginning of the race. Um, self spinning myself on turn one, lap one, and trying to avoid people spinning, and it was a cluster. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's P3 is fine. Um, of course, I would have loved to try to continue that streak of wins, but we'll definitely take the third, and we'll move on to the next race, and we'll see what we could do.
it's all good, man. Hey, 4 straight podiums. You can't argue against that. But great runs today. Obviously, lap one might have been kind of dicey. Explain the conditions out there. Was it really loose? Because I mean, the night came down. Kind of expected maybe the grip would go up. I mean, how was it out there?
Yeah, I mean, we practiced during the day, and I was actually telling my teammates practice during the day, and then when I got into the race server, I was like, oh shoot, like it's nighttime. So all
Little
my settings
curveball.
and everything was like,
Yep.
oh boy, this is not gonna be good. So kind of threw me for a loop for a little bit. So I couldn't be as aggressive as I wanted to be.
Right.
Which that's part of just being able to adapt to the conditions. Um, it took a little while to kind of understand what the truck was doing and what I need out of the truck in order to kind of get to the front. But
Right.
once I figured that out, unfortunately, we had so many cautions that we really
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to really see how the truck would have, how I kind of would have did, during the run. But sometimes you have that, and there's nothing you can really do about it. It's just part of racing, right? So
Yes, sir.
only thing we can I can really say is it was definitely tricky, definitely loose. If we could just go green, it seemed like the racing was good, but we needed to go green, and we just never got it. And I had damage, so I was slow on the straightaways, so I was just clawing my way to trying to stay in the top five, and everything worked out then.
Love that, man. Well, hey, next week, big race at Charlotte. It's going to be our Honor Our Heroes supported race. Going to be big, probably the longest race of the year. God willing, not enough cautions. But we saw this happen earlier in the preseason. Gateway became kind of a mess. So we saw it here in the actual season as well. But 1 out of 4 ain't bad as far as messy races and stuff. So far, we've had a great season. But Gateway just proves to be too hard. Next week, man. Yeah, Charlotte. We'll see you next week there. Congratulations again on the P3 and then Dash for Cash winner.
Thank you. And I just before I go, I just want to say to my sponsors, I put stop AAPA I hate.org on me and Nick Silver's trucks from the incidents that happened over the weekend for Stop Asian American Hate. So go check them out. Great organization to try and fight against crime and hate against Asian Americans. So gotta thank them. Circle B Diecast, Battle Beaver, Boosted. I gotta thank my team, and thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. And yeah, like you said, we'll see you again next week.
Yes, sir. We're gonna go talk to your P2 teammate right now, Nick Silver. Is he available? Not really seeing him around anywhere.
Don't think so. To be honest with you, he went to go eat dinner.
Oh,
He was
okay.
hungry.
All good. I don't blame him after that race. Well, hey, man, good luck. We'll see you next week, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, Brandon Bowie, Dash for Cash winner. We're gonna bring in Mark Whitley. Let's bring all Mark Whitley in here, man. That number 7 Harpoon design, looking so damn good, man. Mark Whitley finally getting the win, buddy. P1 Harpoon Design Truck Series. You did it. I'll tell you what. Just what? But before we get into anything else, describe that last lap.
Desperation, adrenaline, anxious, nerves. I mean, whatever you want to use it. It was went from coming off of turn 4, coming to the white flag, thinking hopefully I could just get 2, and then I went into turn 1, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send it as deep as I think I can send it, and it stuck, and it looked like the 66. I know he was on two right sides. It looked like he got a little loose coming off the corner, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I guess facilitated the contact. But
Mhm.
I mean, it's the last lap. You can't lift, so
Right.
he lifted. I was trying to maybe hopefully get a run around the outside because it looked like he took a pretty defensive line through the middle, and I know that can be a little loose there, especially on two. So from my point of view, it looked like he got just a tiny bit loose right before he touched. So for my part, it didn't never say I made contact, no 0x nothing. So on my screen, I didn't touch him. So at least that's what it's telling me. So I know he's probably not happy. You know, not really. I mean, I don't, you know, you don't want to never win a race off the, you know, somebody spinning off your front bumper, but
Right.
I feel like that was kind of like unavoidable at that point. He got a little loose, and I was so close because I got such a run through the middle, and I think that's just hard racing. I know it sucks for him. I know he's been up front all year, so I think he'll rebound. He's a hell of a competitor, and really thought that 2-tire strategy he got was going to steal one from us because I feel like we had the best car, especially after 23 looped it on the beginning of the race, and I thought we had the best car, being able to just control it up front, and especially with as many cautions we had, I thought we for sure were going to be pretty good. And then he gambled, took 2 tires, and I kept trying to get a good restart, maybe try to get up under him, and we just couldn't ever get enough laps. And tried something different, and one of his teammates got back by me. And like I said, that last lap, I mean, I was going into one. I sent it. I might have sent it into turn 1 harder than I did on my qualifying lap, just trying to see if I could just do something. And somehow it stuck. And you know, finally, I feel like, you know, we let a couple get away from us this beginning of the season, so it's nice to finally steal one back and getting the win column finally. I feel like we should have been here before, but we've had, you know, certain circumstances, whether it be self-inflicted or outside, you know, stuff, outside influence has been affecting us. So it's nice to get this Harpoon Design Chevrolet and Victor Lane for the Harpoon Design series.
Yes, sir. Gotta love to see it, man. Awesome run. And you nailed it. I mean, obviously last lap, you're not going to lift, and it's just, it's a tough call, but you got to do it. Got to go for that first win. Next week, we're going to be in Charlotte for our Salute Our Heroes, Honor Our Heroes race. A big race for us. We've done it since season 1. So going to be emotional for sure, as far as, you know, drivers and folks who've been in the military in the past, right? So, I mean, next week at Charlotte, what's your history there? Or do you like it? I mean, how do you feel?
Honestly, for me, it's been like a flip of the coin. I'll either do really good there and we'll do run up front and we'll have a fast car, or something will happen and we'll be 35th place with a wrecked race car. It's one of my home tracks, being in North Carolina, so you know I want to always do good there. So it's just kind of like, you know, it seems to have a temperament of his own. So I guess hopefully we'll go next week and it'll be one of the good weeks, and we can run up front, maybe get a second win in a row, or you know, at least contend for it, get a top 5, and just try to see what we got, because it's tough competition out here, and you never know what's going to happen around the corner.
Yes, sir. Well, this one will cement you into the playoffs for the Harpoon Design Truck Series. Great job, man. Great run. We'll see you next week in Charlotte.
I appreciate it. Take it easy.
Alrighty, folks. So Mark Whitley is your winner for today's Dash for Cash at Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway, I guess they now call it. I'm still calling it Gateway. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Big win for these guys. The top 10 will be Mark Whitley, Nick Silver, Brandon Bowie, Joseph Mealy, Jonathan Wright, Mitch Diamond, Jeff Tetro, Joshua Sobel, Anthony Williams, and then Robert Hissong, rounding out your top 10. Brandon 6, after that contact at the last lap, will finish 12th. So kind of a heartbreak for Brandon 6 trying to get that first win, but I mean, Mark Whitley was right there to capture it. But great job, folks. Next week, we're going to be in Charlotte for our Honor Our Heroes race at Charlotte for the Truck Series and for the Cup Series. This race is always super emotional for a lot of reasons, you know, as far as, you know, things that are military members and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great race. So we will see you next week. But first, this Thursday, you thought this was fun. This Thursday, the Wheels America Cup Series will be back here at Gateway for what hopes to be a much better race in the sense of caution laps and whatnot. But those boys have been putting out an incredible racing so far this season. Minimal caution laps, huge fields, 43 cars, every single race so far. So we're looking to see how these boys do here again. Also a Dash for Cash race. So those 4 are going to be vying for that money purse. Guys, thank you again. Like and subscribe to the channel, please. The video, hit all the buttons. You know what to do. We love you. Thank you. And we'll see you back this Thursday for the Wheels America Cup Series. Have a good night. We love you. And God bless.